Never be screaming, rubber burns on black. Engines roaring thunder, ain't no turning back. Beast make a friction, sparks light the night. Track of war zones, adrenaline takes flight. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Rebels on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting with sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Rivals on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting with sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Tires grip tight, flames dance on steel. Spins and skids twist, every moment surreal. Checker flag whispers, a siren's call. Only one metalhead lies above it all. Turbocharged fury on straights we fly. Nitrous veins pumping, we touch the sky. Back grandstands buzz, saying our name. Each lap we caught ignites the game flame. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Whoa! Never be screaming, rubber burns on black. Engines roaring thunder, ain't no turning back. Beast make a friction, sparks light the night. Track of war zones, adrenaline takes flight. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Rebels on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting with sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Rivals on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting with sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Tires grip tight, flames dance on steel. Spins and skids twist, every moment surreal. Checker flag whispers, a siren's call. Only one metalhead lies above it all. Turbocharged fury on straights we fly. Nitrous veins pumping, we touch the sky. Back grandstands buzz, saying our name. Each lap we caught ignites the game flame. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Whoa! Never be screaming, rubber burns on black. Engines roaring thunder, ain't no turning back. Beast make a friction, sparks light the night. Track of war zones, adrenaline takes flight. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Rebels on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting with sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Rivals on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting with sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Tires grip tight, flames dance on steel. Spins and skids twist, every moment surreal. Check Checker flag whispers a siren's call. Only one metalhead lies above it all. Turbocharged fury on straight wings fly. Nitrous veins pumping weak time.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this afternoon as the always amazing, the always wonderful Metalhead Truck Series is ready to rock and roll here this evening from Texas Motor Speedway as the CCR Esports 170 is about to get underway here. Qualifying has just come to a close, and these drivers are getting stacked up and lined up down pit side and ready to rumble here this evening for our main event as they're going to get ready to be set loose. I believe we got 113 laps on the docket here today, so 113 laps for these drivers to go to battle to try to duke it out and see if they can find their way up and into victory lane here this evening. Now, we've seen these guys do a lot of green flag racing, especially over the last few weeks, and I know for certain here tonight, Texas, it can come with some fireworks. We could see a few yellow flags. We could see a few pileups out there on the speedway, but these drivers, man, they are talented. They are some of the best in the business to do it. We could see this thing go, virtually clean and green besides our stage break at the completion of lap number 25. So that could make for a ton of fun here for these guys, because that's going to be a lot of laps under green and a lot of strategy to try to put yourself into the winning position. And right now, starting at the front of the field, in what could be the winning position, it's the 196, the HendrickCars.com ride of Caleb Kleinert, who will start in that pole position. To his outside will be his CCR Esports teammate, the 51 of Tyler Stevenson. Starting in position number 3 in the 28 ride, that is Nathan Somerville. To his outside in the CFM Esports at number 318, that is Matthew Catania. Starting in position number 5, a very beautiful patriotic paint scheme here this afternoon for that 3 machine of Keith Prince, is to his outside in the number 01, that is Rooster Rodden. Starting in position number 7 in the 27, that is Nick Garner. To his outside in the 00 QH Designs ride, that is Nate Cogdell with the 33 at Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. in the 97 of Colton Hardy. Ashley Ellison Jr., David Trailer, our top 12 with Skylar Berry, Clinton Woodby, Jesse Calloway, Rusty Modesty, Justin Lawson, 17 of Bruce Bernard, and it looks like the 24 ride, Rick LePage, will bring up the rear of the field here in this one as we quickly see that green flag fly and down through 1 and out of 2. The outside lane looks to prevail as the number 51 of Tyler Stevenson will jump out in front as it's CCR Esports right now, 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway, but Stevenson with that early race lead, but we see an early race caution flag. Uh-oh. Couple of the QH Designs. Brian's getting tore up here in this one. Colton Hardy, heavy damage here for Hardy's ride, and we do see Nate Cogdell also getting tied up and getting some pretty solid damage on that 00 machine as well. So let's take a look back and see what happens here, because we were battling hard. They were battling tight up there. Obviously 2-3-1 down and out of corner number 4, and it looks like, Skylar Berry gets into it as well as the QH Designs number 54 at David Trailer. Man, all the QH Designs rides virtually getting in this one. Get another look at it here. I'm not sure if Barry comes up or if they're just tied off core number 2 in just a racing deal here. So Cogdell is rolling the outside lane. The 46 is coming up, gets a great run on the 33, and I think he looks to try to hit that gap, and unfortunately 00 just didn't move up, and for the 46, should have probably not pulled that move this early in the race. Unfortunately, he took a shot, took the opportunity, does not work out, and all of a sudden we end up seeing a bunch of drivers with some heavy damage out there on the racetrack, including Rick LePage, who gets tied up into it. The 20 rider Justin Lawson gets damaged there as well. But all of a sudden, on our opening lap, we got about 6 trucks that end up getting absolutely tore up out there on the speedway. And it starts right here with this move. 46 tries to shoot the gap, go through the middle, and avoid that 33 ride. Unfortunately, runs up into that 00 Cogdell. You see David Trailer, who bounces off the 46 in the 33, ends up into the fence there himself. So looks like Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., David Trailer, Skylar Berry, Cogdell, Hardy, Lawson, and that 24 Rick LePage all going to end up with some pretty solid damage here on our opening lap here this afternoon, and that's going to it's going to mix things up a little bit. These guys are going to have to try to figure out, some way or another to try to get their trucks repaired, and you don't really want to use up a quick repair this early in the race. We're only on lap number 2 now, and have to use a quick repair up, taking that out of your back pocket and putting yourself into a position where you may not be able to, battle later on in this race if you don't have it. If you get tied up in another big hit, it may, unfortunately take you out of this race. So I think for a lot of these guys, I think that's their game plan. I think that's the motive here. As we see, David Traylor still down there, Skylar Berry, Lawson, Rick LePage. These guys are all looking to try to get their trucks repaired here, and throughout these caution laps. And right now, they're trying to stay down pit side for as long as they can, enough to hopefully try to keep themselves on the lead lap. And that's one thing they're going to have to look at here is quickly, they could go a lap down. They got to be careful. You do see Colton Hardy. Looks like Hardy had too much damage. He's had to use that quick repair up. So if he gets tied up in another incident, his night could be done. But you do see Skylar Berry, David Traylor, the 20 of Lawson. They're all able to exit the pits before our pace car went around that pit exit, and that will keep them on the lead lap. But now they got to manage. They got to make it here to at least the completion of lap number 25. And I think that's going to be a big goal for a lot of these drivers. Make it to lap 25. See this caution flag come out again. Obviously we may see another one or two before that point. But if we don't get that lucky, you're getting another caution flag at lap 25. What you want to do is just try to keep yourself on a lead lap, keep yourself in the battle. That will give you another opportunity to come down pit road a couple times, try to make some of those changes, try to get some repairs done, and keep your car alive for later in the race, because if you run into a late race issue like we just saw, with 10, 15, 20 laps left to go in this race, if you've burned up that quick repair already, it could take you out of this race. You may not be able to continue. So you want to make sure that you still have it in your back pocket, that you can use it when you really, really need it. And for right now, those guys, as much as they're tore up and they're got some pretty heavy damage on their race trucks, you got some time here through these yellows to try to get these things fixed up. And so far, the crews have done a pretty good job. You look at Cogdell's ride, it's looking pretty good. Same with, obviously, the 20 of Lawson, the 46 of Berry. Honestly, you do see still quite a bit of right front damage there for the 54 at David Traylor, but they're all going to look to try to survive and keep themselves in this race. But now, obviously, going to have to try to play catch-up here throughout the rest of this one. Is out in front, Stevenson. Great restart, great launch there once again for the 51 ride. He'll keep Matthew Catania back there at bay as it is the CCR Esports team. Once again, 1 and 2 out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately for our pole sitter, Caleb Kleinert, he's in a fight here trying to keep that 28 and Nathan Somerville back there at bay. Somerville wants to jump up there and steal that third spot away from him, though, as they're going to continue to battle door to door back there in that third and fourth position. Rooster Roddin's right there with them. And then we do see Ashley Ellison Jr., another beautiful American paint scheme out there on the racetrack, man. That beautiful Gainbridge USA flag, number 133. Looking fresh out there on the racetrack. You do see the beautiful USA number 3 machine of Keith Prince right there behind him. A lot of these drivers, they've got their special paint schemes on this afternoon, because this is, I want to make sure I get this right. I do believe this is our Patriot paint scheme night here this afternoon. So yeah, it is the Patriot paint scheme contest here. There's $15 on the line for a bunch of these drivers. An opportunity here to try and potentially, end up with an extra $15 into their back pocket. So if they've, went out and created their own paint scheme and really took the time to put the work into it, or if they've paid somebody else to make the paint scheme for them, then at least that can kind of minimize the cost of that a little bit more with winning that $15. And honestly, I think two of the best ones out there right now are these two right here, man. They're looking pretty fresh out there on the racetrack. That beautiful 3 ride, the 133, always looking good out there. We do know there's a few other ones, I believe, here for the 92 ride. I do believe this is more of like a military paint scheme, kind of like a camo. I don't know if there's any logos on it, though. That's the only thing. I don't really see any big logos or anything else on it. Some stripes there on the side, but as you look back throughout the field, I do believe you're going to see a few of these drivers like Nate Cogdell having a bit of a special paint scheme on here. He's got the red, white, and blue out there on the racetrack and looking fresh out there in the Johnny Johnson Motorsports QH Design 0-0 ride. And then we did see, I believe, take a look back here at Skylar Berry. Berry ran this one last year as well, or in potentially one of our other series. Now, he messaged me earlier, so he has ran this one before. This is a beautiful, beautiful paint scheme, and it's in memory. It's dedicated to SSG Edward Marie. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Marie, who he served with. So a buddy that he served with and everything else here. Obviously getting the special occasion paint scheme out here tonight, man. We love to see it. He's got the Mission 22 on there. Great organization, great charity. Riding on board there with that QH Designs, number 46 right now. Unfortunately, he's run into issues and had some problems, you know, earlier throughout this race, but he's looking to kind of rebound from it. And we do see Justin Lawson back here as well. Another beautiful looking truck out there on the Speedway, sporting the National Guard number 20 ride out there on the Speedway. Looking pretty fresh too. That's looking really nice as well, man. There's so many good trucks out there. These guys really, you know, doing a good job and doing a great thing here, supporting the troops in America, and obviously throwing these, you know, patriotic paint schemes on is always such a good night to watch and see what, you know, their creative ideas and what they can come up with and what they get out there. As you do see the red, white, and blue number 51 of Tyler Stevenson still leading the way. Now the blue is definitely a bit of an off blue. I think it's more or less for the C4 Energy there. I don't know, maybe like a ice pop or something kind of flavor. I know Prime makes like a rocket kind of flavor or whatever with ice pops. I don't know if maybe that's something like what this is. Let's see if we can get a look here. Okay, so you do see the cans there are kind of the same kind of color paint scheme there, but you know what, we'll go with it. We'll rock with it. It's at least it's red, white, and blue. We do like that. As you do see his teammate right there behind him, Matthew Catania, trying to hold on to position number 2 out there on the racetrack. That Team CFM Esports number 318 currently running here in second, but man, Somerville showing some pretty good speed early on in this race. He's worked his way around Caleb Kleinert. He's raced his way up to the 318. He was just there to the outside, trying to complete that pass, trying to work his way around Catania for second, but you do see Kleinert right there with him as 1, 2, 3, and 4. He can throw a blanket over him down through core number 3 and 4. As now you do see the 28 getting a little bit loose. Now, I like this paint scheme. I love the rusted old look here that he's got on this race truck, man. This thing is looking fresh. It is looking very, very nice. A huge shout out there to Somerville. Obviously, maybe not as much of a Patriot paint scheme, but it is still a very beautiful paint scheme, man. I love the rust look, looking fresh out there on the racetrack, and right now he's looking fast as well, but he does get passed by Caleb Kleinert, our pole sitter, so Kleinert gets around him, and that will move the 196 back up inside the top 3, where he will join his CCR Esports teammates here at the front of the field. So right now, CCR Esports runs first, second, third, 5th, and 6th out there on the racetrack, with Ashley Ellison Jr. and Nick Gardner now back in that 5th and 6th position. So right now, in a race sponsored by the CCR Esports team, they came here to not really play around. They are not messing around. They are here and they mean business, and they are all looking for some good stage points and a really good run. And obviously, they're focused and they're pushing. They want to make sure that one of their CCR Esports rides picks up the win here in the CCR Esports 170 at Texas Motor Speedway. So right now, I mean, 16 laps into this race, you know, mission accomplished. They are doing a fantastic job with 5 of the top 6 drivers on the team up at the front of the field here, and they're looking to continue that trend and hoping that they can obviously maybe try to win this stage, try to win the race, and just kind of lead everything here today, man. I know they're going to try their best to keep everyone else back at bay out there on the Speedway, but the big question mark will be here throughout this race. What is the tire wear going to look like? What will the tires look like? How will these drivers have to, progress and kind of roll out here on the Speedway? We've seen everyone inside of our top 4 virtually run into the 30.1 second lap times. Everyone else back behind them has only ran their quick times at a 30.3, 30.4. See a couple 30.2s, but no one else except for our top 4 breaking that 30.2 second lap time out there on the racetrack, and they're showing it that they got some fast hot rods out there on the Speedway as they currently sit 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they've opened up 2.5 seconds between themselves in what is now virtually our second group that's being led by Nick Gardner. Woodby's right there as well, as he's now up and into that 6th position. Ashley Ellison Jr. unfortunately starting to fall back here as Jesse Calloway, Woodby both able to get around him, and you do see Rusty Modesty and Keith Prince right there ready to rumble, ready to battle here as Prince rounds out our top 10 here on the racetrack. But unfortunately for Ashley Ellison, kind of getting hounded right now for about the 7th position out there on the racetrack, and Nick Garner may about to lose position number 5 as Clinton Woodby right there to his outside. Woodby wants position number 5, wants to work himself up inside the top 5 with only 5 laps left to go here in our first stage of the day. So for the 92, he's trying to get it done. He's trying to work this thing up towards the front of the field, but you see that gap right there at a core number 2. The difference out there on the Speedway between our lead group and this second group is out in front. Tyler Stevenson, right from the get-go, jumped out in front, was able to get a good launch, worked himself in front of Caleb Kleinert down through 1 and 2. Then obviously we saw that early race caution flag, but even at that restart and since then, he's just been out in front, man. He's been hitting his marks down low. He's been making some good solid laps here, and now he's starting to even pull away a little bit from his teammates back behind him. As Matthew Catania, Caleb Kleinert looking to still try to hunt him down, looking to try to reel in that 51 ride as much as their teammates, and they want to see the team win this race. They want to be the driver up in victory lane, celebrating at the end of the day for the race win. But right now, it is looking like Tyler Stevenson may be the truck to beat. We'll have to wait and see if he can hang on to another 3 laps of racing here in our first stage of the day. And I think for a lot of those drivers that got tied up in that first caution flag, they're going to be really happy to see this yellow flag come back out. When you look at David Traylor or Justin Lawson, when you look at Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., couple of these drivers, even Nate Cogdell back there, he got tore up. He got damage in that one. Looking at Skylar Berry with the damage on the Mission 22, number 46 ride. Berry's back in 18th. Rick LePage, who got damaged in that first wreck. He's still got some pretty solid damage on that 24 truck, and he is back in that 19th position, but doing a great job right now. Is even though they're a little tore up, their trucks are falling off and falling apart out there after that opening lap wreck. They're trying to just hang on here to a lead lap run, get an opportunity to come back down pit side here at the end of this stage and try to get some more of those repairs done here on their race trucks. And luckily enough for them, I think they're all going to accomplish that goal as we only got 1 lap left to go, and it looks like we're going to see another caution flag fly already. So caution flag will come back out, and that will end our stage under the yellow flag. Tyler Stevenson will win the stage with Matthew Catania, Caleb Kleinert, Nathan Somerville, and Nick Gardner rounding out our top 5. Clinton Woodby will be back in 6th with Ashley Ellison Jr., Rusty Modesty, Nate Cogdell, and Jesse Calloway rounding out our top 10 on the Speedway. Well, let's take a look back and see what brings out this caution, because we didn't really see anyone going around or any big issues. I don't know if maybe they just threw that yellow flag a little bit early, just knowing that potentially they wanted to get down pit road here. I'm not too sure. So it looks like they're going to call it there at least a lap early for that stage, because I don't see anyone spun around. I don't see any debris out there on the racing surface, so we're going to get the caution flag. Nonetheless, the stage will come to an end, and that will give these drivers an opportunity to head down pit side and make some changes, get some fuel, get some tires, and try to play a little strategy here on the Speedway to try to put themselves up and into the winner's circle. As if we can keep this clean and green, man, 113 laps. I feel it's just going to fly right on by here for these drivers. I feel these guys are running just at such a great pace. They're doing such a great job rolling out there on the racetrack and getting these green flag laps in that, you know, we're already 25 laps into this feature event. And I mean, we've seen obviously now one caution flag early. We see this other caution flag now coming out, but these drivers have completed already 26 laps of this feature event. And I believe, it's what? 87 laps left to go here in this feature event, so still obviously a lot of laps, but man, they're going to click down in a quick hurry. But all these drivers head down pit side. Everyone's getting work, but you do see the 97 rider, Colton Hardy. Looks like Hardy's going to come down pit road, get fuel only, roll back out there. So tires could definitely become the big question mark here in this race. A lot of these drivers, I don't think, took tires. Some of them definitely did. Yeah, you definitely see Caleb Kleiner. You see Catania, Tyler Stevenson. Pretty much everybody took 4 tires right here, except for a couple of these drivers. Even David Trailer, Skylar Berry, they got fresh tires on. You look at the 17, he gets tires. Rick LePage also getting some tires there on the 24 ride. Now, Skylar Berry going to stay down pit side a little bit while longer, trying to get those repairs done. But obviously, strategy call here for Colton Hardy. Coming down pit road there, did not put tires on. Now, I don't know if that was a mistake out of the 97 truck. We'll have to wait and see if he does work his way back down pit side and potentially try to put tires onto that race truck. But we'll have to wait and see, because he may be a sitting duck out there on the racetrack. And I do believe we are going to see Colton Hardy end up working his way back down pit side here. So here we go. Back to the live, and there it is. Colton Hardy, that beautiful Johnny Johnson Motorsports QH Designs Toyota, back down pit side, gonna get some more fuel and obviously get his fresh set of tires, and he's gonna get ready to roll back out there. Obviously gonna lose all that track position. We do see Rooster Rodden and David Trailer both back down pit road as well. Skylar Berry able to get rolling here. We'll see if Berry's back down pit side. Nope, looks like he's gonna keep rolling and get lined up here for this restart as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. 28 laps complete here in this race as we see the green flag fly. So down to virtually, 85 laps left to go in this race? Something like that. 85 laps left to go here in this feature event. So still, obviously, a lot of time, a lot of laps, a lot of opportunities here to work yourself forward or to run into issues and fall backwards out there on the racetrack. So we'll have to keep a close eye on all these drivers and what they're able to do, where they're going to be able to move, and what decisions they're going to have to make here, especially when we start to see green flag pit stops come into the picture frame. For a lot of these drivers, those green flag pit stops could come with some very serious and dire consequences out there on the racetrack. You cannot get caught speeding down pit side as we see the green flag back out into the air here for all of these drivers. Now, for all these drivers, they did have 4 sets of tires back there in the pits, but look out, cold tires. Oh, Catania almost going around right there. Great save for the 318 machine. Catania is able to hang on to it, keep that truck rolling in the right direction. He does look like he's going to lose a bit of that momentum. Looks like Caleb Kleiner and Somerville both going to work their way around him. Here comes that 27 of Nick Gardner. Gardner says, man, I hate to see my teammate got a little sideways there and have an issue, but he says thank you very much as he'll look to try to complete this pass and steal that 4th spot away from Catania and hoping to try to work his way up towards the front of the field. I know Nick loves this racetrack. This is probably one of his, or if not his favorite racetrack. We've seen him win a few races here at Texas Motor Speedway, so I know Nick Gardner is going to be a threat here late in this race. He tends to always either find a way to, poke his name into that running order and into the, contention for the win each and every one of these races. So we'll have to wait and see if things will play out nicely for him. I know he's set up here probably for the long run. I feel even if he wants, he may even let a couple of these drivers back behind him kind of go, but I think he's content rolling right here behind his teammate right now, and we'll have to wait and see how much of the picture he decides to push here in this final stage of the race. It's 31 laps completed out there on the speedway, and for Tyler Stevenson, he's been out in front and he's led all of them here this afternoon. No one else has led a lap this evening, at least during green flag conditions. And for the 51 truck, Tyler Stevenson, man, he's just been absolutely zooming out there on the speedway, as we do see another driver back behind him. Back in the 11th position, the 0-0 of Nate Cogdell just ran the quickest lap of this race. A 30.08 second lap time, the quickest lap of this feature event by pretty much a tenth of a second. No one has been inside of that 30 flat number except for Nate Cogdell, and he's gonna hope that he can hold that quick time and hope that maybe that gives him an extra bonus point into his back pocket and maybe helps him a little closer and through our playoffs here this season. But for Tyler Stevenson, he's out in front. He's feeling A-okay. He's got about 3 to 4 tenths between himself and his teammate Caleb Kleinert, as the CCR Esports team still doing a great job, still running up here at the front of the field. And you do see Catania trying to work his way back up into third, trying to make it CCR 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway. I know Nick Garner will be right there as well, ready to pounce, ready to work his way up and inside of our top 3 on the speedway as well. But he's got to be careful. He pushed up the racetrack, and here comes the 6th ride. A Rusty Modesty. Modesty with a great run underneath of the 27. And as of right now, it looks like he's going to continue to battle door to door here with Nick Gardner for position number 5 on the speedway. But you saw him have to get checked up down the back straightaway, and as he did have to get checked up, unfortunately, that's going to cost him at least that 4th spot on the racetrack, 5th spot as well, and now may even cost him another spot or 2, because you do see Clinton Woodby, Jesse Calloway, that 4 ride right there in the middle of things. Keith Prince as well in that beautiful number 3 machine rolls back there in 10th. Unfortunately for the CCR Esports team, they did see Ashley Ellison Jr. back there in that 133 ride, falling quite a ways back here. He's just outside the top 10 right now, but unfortunately has fallen all the way back into 11th. We'll have to wait and see if he can try to navigate his way back up towards our top 5 on the racetrack. As David Trailer rolls there in 12th, Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. back in 13th, Justin Lawson, Rooster Rodden, the number 17 of Bruce Bernard, Skylar Berry, Colton Hardy, and Rick LePage rounding out our 19 truck field here this evening. But man, it has been a lot of fun already, man. It is definitely quality over quantity out there on the racetrack, but man, still having 19, 20 drivers show up and show out week after week after week. It makes this series so beautiful, so fun, and so awesome to watch these guys battle each and every single Monday night. And they've been going for a while, but we're inching closer and closer to the start of our playoffs. Playoffs are just around the corner. And for a lot of these drivers, if you're on the outside of the point standings looking in, you really want to try to have a good couple runs here late in this season, as I do believe as of right now, looking like for a lot of these drivers, our top 6 in points, all over 1,000 points right now, with Clinton Woodby, David Trailer, Matthew Catania, Caleb Kleinert, and Tyler Stevenson. Our top 5 virtually, I think they're pretty much or very close to being locked in here. Tyler Stevenson has about 54 points between himself and his teammate Nick Garner, who scored back in 6th. Now Nick does have over 1,000 points on the season, but back behind him we see Kevin Winker at 975. Colton Hardy is in 8th in the points. Justin Rodden, Justin Lawson rounding out our top 10. Then we do see Nate Cogdell, Nathan Somerville, Ashley Ellison Jr. back in 13th, Keith Prince in 14th, Michael Newman and John Herbert rounding out our top 16 here in the point standings. But for a few of our front runners not only in the points but in this race. Again, just feeling pretty solid out there on the Speedway. Actually, kind of one of them that's up there that, honestly, I'm quite surprised doesn't have better points is the number 6 rider, Rusty Modesty, man. Modesty, unfortunately, is kind of sitting back, deep in the field. He's back in 19th in the point standings. Now, he does have a win on the season, so I'm not sure if it's win and you're into the playoffs. If it is, that's great news for Modesty, great news for Matt Hayden, because they're both outside of the top 15, but both do have wins under their belt. But for a couple of these other drivers, like Caleb Kleinert, Nick Gardner, Justin Roden, Justin Lawson, Cogdell, Somerville, Ash Elson Jr., everyone that's kind of up there, just outside our top 5, and unfortunately, without a couple wins or a win in their back pocket, they're really sitting in a dangerous position, because if the win and you're in drivers do win their way into the playoffs, that's going to move that cut line farther and farther down, and you could be on the outside looking in a quick hurry. But man, it's a dogfight back here for second, and it's just allowing Tyler Stevenson to run away with this one. Stevenson is out in front. He's got 2 seconds now between himself and the rest of the field as Nathan Somerville works his way up and into second. Catania is trying to hang on to third with Caleb Kleinert now back into fourth. Modesty still trying to work his way around that 27 ride of Nick Gardner, but man, it is a dogfight. 2, 3, 4 wide here, nice and easy down and through corner number 1 and 2 with Lucy Ashley Ellison, Nate Cogdell. That's the 4 of Jesse Calloway, the 54 of David Traylor around the outside, able to put the power down, and for David Traylor, he jumps back up inside the top 7, so he's working his way towards the front of the field here, and obviously, woo, doggy, look out right there, little contact. Keith Prince thought he was clear of that 27, wasn't quite clear, almost went down and around off his nose. Luckily enough, able to keep it pointing in the right direction, but Keith Prince working his way around that 27 truck as well, and for Nick Gardner, falling back here. But I believe for Gardner, this may be a little bit more by design. Now, I know it's tough giving up track position. I know it's tough giving up a lot of time to some of these other drivers, especially our race leader, Tyler Stevenson, out there in front of you. But as of right now, if you can start to save some tire, if you can kind of back up the pace here, try to save a little bit for later in this run, it could work out nicely into your favor and allow you to gain all this track position back and all these positions back late in this race. But for right now, obviously if the 27 is falling back there, he's for a little bit there, he was outside our top 10, but he's back up into 7th. But man, it is a dogfight as Catania, he's able to work his way back up into position number 2 here. Somerville falls back into 5th, but Catania and Kleinert now going to run door to door here for position number 2 on the racetrack. And as this battling continues for the number 51 of Tyler Stevenson, he just continues to keep on pulling farther and farther away. The 51 just continues to have himself a day here at the Speedway, continues to just keep on inching farther and farther out in front, and if he can pull out to a big enough lead, it may put him into a prime position for not only track position, but for, our first wave of green flag pit stops out there on the racetrack. So for Stevenson, having 3 seconds, 4 seconds, however much he can open up here between himself and a couple of his CCR Esports teammates, it could really put him into a golden opportunity later on in this run. But you do start to see, as they're stacked up, more and more of these faster trucks have been working their way through the field, and one of those being this number 54 at David Traylor. Traylor has worked his way all the way up and into 3rd now. So David continuing to march forward, and he is now looking to go after Matthew Catania for position number 2 out there on the racetrack. So for Catania, you gotta be watching that rear view mirror. You see that 54 ride getting bigger and bigger. What do you do? What kind of moves do you make? Where do you run out there? This is going to be a golden opportunity right here for that number 318 to kind of learn the tendencies, kind of learn where and when this 54 ride is starting his braking zones, or maybe where he's starting to kind of roll or navigate around the racetrack, where that truck seems to be the most comfortable. And that could be a line that you could just try to stay in. Dump dirty air onto him, try to get him aero loose or aero tight out there on the racetrack. Have him make mistakes and just try to use that dirty air off your back bumper to keep him back there at bay. But for right now, not a whole lot has stopped David Trailer, other than that opening lap caution flag. He got tore up in it, got some damage. He made a couple pit stops there under our caution flags, and he's worked his way right back into the picture here this afternoon. Now we do see our first driver making a green flag pit stop. It's Keith Prince. Prince heads down pit side here, the United States of America. That beautiful USA, the bald eagle number 3 of Keith Prince makes his way down pit road here. He's the first driver to kind of make this pit stop. Now, I'm not sure if this is by design, if this is part of the strategy or that number 3 machine of Keith Prince, or if maybe this just, he had some damage, or maybe he didn't get this thing completely topped up during our stage break. But nonetheless, for the 3 ride, he's going to make that earlier stop. That is going to put him a lap down. He's got to be careful to not fall 2 laps down out there on the racetrack and really affect his afternoon, because getting 1 lucky dog is very, very tough, but you can still get them. But if you fall 2 laps down and you need 2 lucky dogs, unfortunately, you may be barking up the wrong tree, because you may not get them. You may not get an opportunity to even see 2 more caution flags throughout this race. So you just got to make sure that things cycle back through and that it works into your favor, and that you can try to put yourself up and into a winning position. And that's what the 3 ride's trying to do, but out in front, just trying to run away with it, is exactly what Tyler Stevenson had drawn up here this afternoon, because for the 51 ride, he's out in front. He's feeling A-OK here after 53 laps of racing action. We only got 60 laps left to go here, ladies and gentlemen. 60 more laps left to duke it out, and we do see a couple more drivers head down pit side. Here comes Caleb Kleinert. Here comes Clinton Woodby. Both drivers head down pit side. They're going to make their second pit stops of the day, their first during our green flag pit stops. And obviously the strategy already starting to come out for some of these drivers. How long can they go? What is the idea here? I feel every one of them, they know that they probably have to make 2 green flag pit stops here throughout this stage, unless if we see a timely caution flag. But if things stay clean and green, I think at least twice they're going to be coming down pit road. And I think for Caleb Kleiner, Keith Prince, Clinton Woodby, they're just trying to play a little bit of strategy here, making that little earlier of a pit stop, trying to make sure that they get some really fresh tires under their race trucks here, and hoping that they can use it to work into their advantage. Now, if, my math is kind of right, as we're starting to see more of these guys head down pit road, they've ran virtually since lap 26. We went back green flag racing at lap 28. And so they didn't even run 30 laps here throughout this stage. This has only been about 25 laps or so that they've been running. Maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 27, maybe 28 laps throughout this green flag run. And obviously now seeing, our bottom 5 drivers all making this earlier pit stop, you got to wonder what that strategy call may be. Are they going to look to try to roll out there for another 25, 30 laps, pit somewhere around lap number 86 to lap 80, somewhere in that pit window area where they're going to be good on fuel. They know they're going to make it to the end of this race and through a couple NASCAR overtimes, but maybe they just want to have those extra tires, a little bit longer out there on the racetrack, using them now instead of having to use them later when you don't really need them, because you may not have an opportunity to gain any of that track position back. Because now here we go. 3 more drivers head down pit side, including David Trailer, Nate Cogdell, and that 28 and Nathan Somerville. Somerville, though, runs into issues heading down pit side. Oh, no. Heartbreaker here. He was up battling in position number, he was actually in the race lead at that moment in time, or at least second, and then down pit road just stabs the brakes right there as he enters pit lane. The car jacks loose on him, goes sideways, and unfortunately has to back it up, has to get it rolling back down pit road. Never got lucky enough for a caution flag, and that's probably a good thing. But we do see a few more drivers head down pit side here, and one of those being the 20 ride of Justin Lawson. Lawson ends up coming down pit side here himself, and for the 20 machine, looks like he's going to be the first driver of the night to receive a black flag down pit side. Justin Lawson gets a black flag, too fast entering pit road. And for the National Guard number 20 ride, he will get a hold down pit side here. It'll probably be for 30 seconds or maybe even 45, 50 seconds. And unfortunately for this 20 machine, that will more than likely put him a lap down, or at least very, very close to it. And for Stevenson, he's going to have to, just hit his pit stop perfectly here as we saw him down pit road. So Stevenson's down pit side now. He's going to give up the race lead, in which case his teammate Nick Gardner consumes that top spot. So for the first time here tonight, somebody other than Tyler Stevenson is out in front leading the way here. Stevenson has the top spot. Rusty Modesty, Jesse Calloway, Ashley Elson Jr., Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., Colton Hardy, and Bruce Bernard all yet to come back down pit road after what has now been 34 laps, about to be 35 laps of green flag racing out there on the Speedway for them. So maybe they got a little something else up their sleeve. Maybe they got a little extra strategy in the back of their minds. Can they make it maybe to lap number 70? If they can make it to lap 70, that would be, what, a 44, 43 lap run, something like that, to a tank of fuel. And if they pit on lap 70, that'll literally give them a 43 lap run to get to the checkered flag here this evening. So they're definitely clicking those calculators. They're trying to do the numbers and see where they stand and what the strategy may look like. But we do see now, here comes Jesse Calloway and Colton Hardy down pit side. Unfortunately for Calloway, he's also going to earn a black flag. Too fast entering pit road. The Liquid Death number 4 machine. So for Jesse Calloway, he is also going to fall even farther behind now in this race. And now we may see a bit of a battle for the lucky dog position. We'll have to wait and see who comes out in front of one another, who can try to keep themselves in that lucky dog spot late in this race, hoping that they can try to catch a caution flag. But now we do see a couple more drivers head down pit road. Nick Gardner and Rusty Modesty both head down pit side. But let's take a look back at it. Here comes that 27 machine. It's going to give up the race lead, shoots it down pit road, and unfortunately, Nick Gardner going to get a black flag. Too fast entering pit road. And the 6 of Rusty Modesty also going to get a black flag. Too fast down pit side. So 2 drivers that were inside our top 5 that were battling there at the front of the field, now getting those penalties as well. And we talked about it, at the start of this stage, is that those black flag penalties could make or break your night. And unfortunately, we're going to see Gardner, we're going to see Modesty be held down pit road here, and they're going to continue to fall farther and farther back. And unfortunately for Jesse Calloway, he's found out the hard way. So hasn't Justin Lawson in that 20 ride, as 4 drivers throughout that first wave of green flag pit stops all earn themselves some black flags out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately, I think for each and every one of these drivers, they were able to run just under 40 laps there to this run. They ran about, I want to say, what was that? That was roughly about 37 laps to the run, 37, 32, somewhere around there, laps that they ran throughout that run. And unfortunately, I think everybody, even the drivers that were just down pit side here, the latest, back on lap number 63, I believe they cannot make it to the end of this race. So they're going to have to make another green flag pit stop. They'll have to come down pit road, put more tires, get more fuel, and get rolling back out onto the racetrack here. As I think they'd probably be about 10 laps shy by the calculations, because they made it only about, 37 laps, 36 laps there to that tank of fuel. So unfortunately, they would be a little bit shy here in this one, but that's going to make things very, very fun and very interesting, as obviously now we get some different strategy here. Drivers that have pitted earlier, other drivers that pitted a little bit later. For Tyler Stevenson, he gave up virtually a 3.5-second lead here. They kind of roll out there for an extra 4 or 5 laps compared to a lot of the drivers that were back in second, third, fourth out there on the speedway. And now he's going to have the opportunity to sort of just kind of play with them here, maybe start to pull away from them, as you do see Catania right on his back bumper. Caleb Kleiner's back there in that third position. Clinton Woodby's back there in position number 4. Now we do see David Traylor, Nate Cogdell, Rooster Rodden, our top 7 with Keith Prince. Colton Hardy and Nathan Somerville rounding out our top 10 there on the speedway. And for Colton Hardy, he's got some of the best tires out of our top 10 right now. He's the only driver that pitted after the completion of lap number 60. He pitted down on lap number 62. So for a lot of the drivers in front of him, he's got 5, 7, laps better than majority of them. Even when you look at our race leader, Tyler Stevenson, he was down pit road on lap number 59. So for Colton Hardy, he's still got 3 laps better than our race leader, so that could really help him out. That could help him maybe start to draw in these guys, start to reel them in, gain some positions, especially as this stage continues going, as we get closer and closer to the, towards the next wave of green flag pit stops, or the next potential caution flag out there. Right now he's kind of sitting in a good position here. You just got to make up a lot of track position out there on the racetrack. Because Tyler Stevenson out in front, he's got the better tires out of anyone inside the top 5, and it looks like they're going to start paying off for him here as he's starting to pull farther and farther away from his teammate Matthew Catania, as Catania's got 4 lap older tires than this 51 ride. For Clinton Woodby and Caleb Kleinert, they were both down pit road on lap number 53. Now they got 6 lap older tires than our race leader Tyler Stevenson, so they're going to continue to fall farther away from him. But we'll be doing a great job up and into third here, getting around Caleb Kleiner. We'll have to wait and see if Kleiner can battle back into that third position, or maybe we see some of these other drivers from back behind them, like David Traylor or Rooster Rodden, Nate Cogdell, Prince, Hardy, Somerville. Can they start to slowly but surely track their way up towards our top 5? And what about the drivers that came down even later? When you look outside the top 10, you look back at Skylar Berry, who pitted back on lap 60, or Ashley Ellison, who pitted on lap 63. Same with Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. Obviously they're a little bit better on fuel. They got a little bit better tires. Can they take advantage of them, use them to their advantage, and work their way up towards the front of the field here? As unfortunately, Nick Gardner as well. Gardner did get a black flag there throughout that cycle of pit stops. So we did see about 4 drivers end up, unfortunately, earning black flags throughout that first cycle of green flag stops here. Gardner, Jesse Calloway, Justin Lawson, and Rusty Modesty all end up getting black flags, and it looks like for Modesty, he's giving up on it. He knows that this race is getting clicked down in a quick hurry, and that black flag would virtually take him a long time to get back into it, or even he may never even get a shot to get a wave around or anything else to get back into this race. And unfortunately for the 6th ride, looks like he's just gonna take it down pit side and keep it down there. So looks like he is gonna finish back in 19th, and doesn't look like he's gonna continue here this evening. But out in front, and once again building that race lead, it's this 51 machine of Tyler Stevenson. Stevenson now out in front here after 74 laps of racing action here at Texas Motor Speedway. And it's Tyler Stevenson out in front, who's looking to try to run away with it here this evening. Catania, his teammate there in the CCR Esports, one rail, number 318 ride there in second. Clinton Woodby's back in third with Caleb Kleiner there in fourth. David Traylor back in that 5th position. Then we do see Cogdell, Rodden, Keith Prince, Colton Hardy, And Skylar Barry rounding out our top 10 now out on the Speedway. So Barry works his way up inside the top 10. He's got a little bit better tires there than Nathan Somerville, so he makes quick work of them. But now let's see what he's got left in the tank. Can he start to, reel in Colton Hardy and maybe start to reel in some of our front runners up inside the top 8 out there on the Speedway? We'll have to wait and see. But for right now, it's all Tyler Stevenson, man. It is the Tyler Stevenson show, as I do believe here this evening. What do we got? 37 laps left to go here in this feature event. So 37 laps left to duke it out here in this one. And the next time by the start finish line, we're gonna jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So we want you guys to crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. a beautiful crank it up session here this afternoon from all these amazing truck drivers. Unfortunately, we start to see these guys making green flag pit stops. Now, for some of them, they wanted this pit stop. They want to get those fresh tires. They want to work on their race cars. Unfortunately, though, that's the risk that you take of coming down pit side, is those black flag penalties. We already saw a bunch of them being handed out earlier in that first wave of green flag pit stops. This time we'll see a few more as the number 318, our second place driver, Matthew Catania, gets snagged. Too fast entering pit road. Catania gets a black flag. Earlier there we did see the 97 of Colton Hardy also earn a black flag down pit side as well. So for Colton Hardy and Matthew Catania, this wave of green flag pit stops, they both are too fast down pit side, and they end up with black flags, and unfortunately, that will set them back a ton here this evening, and probably taking Catania out of position of, having just a good run, a good race, and maybe even putting himself into a winning position with some of the strategy later in this race. Unfortunately, he will no longer be in that winning spot or in a, even just a top 5 run out there on the racetrack, and that is going to really set him back here today. And for Tyler Stevenson, that may make things that much easier for the 51 ride, as he doesn't have to compete with this CCR Esports teammate. But now our race leader, Stevenson, trying to come down pit road. He runs into issues here himself. This is going to mix things up a ton. Oh no, things were going so good for CCR Esports, and unfortunately now, more and more drivers running into issues here. We just saw Catania get that black flag down pit road. Our race leader and the dominant truck here so far today, coming down pit side, locking up the tires, going around right there, and unfortunately for Stevenson, I think that's going to lose him the race lead. He's really going to have to try to pull some strategy to see if he can try to work his way back out in front and into the race-winning position, as now consuming the race lead once everyone else starts to come down pit side, as we do see Somerville down pit road, and Somerville is going to earn a black flag. Oh no, Nathan Somerville comes down pit road, is looking for a good solid run here today, and unfortunately for the 28 ride, he'll also earn a black flag, and unfortunately, that will keep him down pit road for an extended period of time here as Skylar Berry out in front. Berry's got the race lead. Ash Hilton Jr. runs in second. Bruce Bernard there in third. Now our top 3 all still have to make green flag pit stops here this evening. For Clinton Woodby, he was down pit road and made his green flag pit stop back on lap number 81. As he now has the race lead, David Traylor runs in position number, what would be position number 2 once it cycles through. David rolls there in that second spot, but he is quite a ways back here, but he does have about 6 lap better tires than Clinton Woodby. So can David Traylor chase down Woodby and potentially steal this win away from him? Caleb Kleiner back in position number 6 for right now. He also has already made his pit stop. He rolls there, what will virtually be that third position, but he is about 8 seconds back of Clinton Woodby, about 4 seconds back at David Traylor, and unfortunately he doesn't have as good a tires as Traylor. He was down pit road a lap earlier, as we do see Skylar Berry down pit side. Now Berry a little too far in his box, has to back it up. We'll have to wait and see where that puts the 46 ride, but Ashley Ellison Jr. will consume the race lead. Ashley and Bruce Bernard still have to make their green flag pit stops. Luckily enough, though, for Skylar Berry, he was nice and easy down pit road, and no black flags as of yet or at all for that 46, so good pit stop there for him. But man, this has been a tough night for the Black Flag Club, as unfortunately we saw Nick Gardner earn one earlier today. We saw the 318 of Catania just get one. We saw Colton Hardy get one. Justin Lawson, Nathan Somerville, Rusty Modesty, who's still down pit road. Man, what is that? 5 drivers, 6 drivers earning black flags here this afternoon down pit road as here comes Ashley Ellison Jr. You saw Bruce Bernard down there as well in that 17 ride, so that should cycle things through. And for all these drivers, they've made what could be potentially their final pit stop, biting a late race caution flag, and drivers wanting to use maybe that extra set of tires to their advantage late in this race will give up maybe track position, take a swing at things, and try to get those extra tires onto their race trucks. But for Clinton Woodby, he's got the race lead. He's still got about 3.3 seconds between himself in the 54 of David Traylor. Now Traylor with 6 lap better tires is on the hunt to the front here. He's trying to chase him down, trying to reel in that 92 ride. But unfortunately for Clinton Woodby, there's still quite a bit of laps left in this race. Still 15 laps left to go. So he's really going to have to try to hang on to it here and hope that he just keeps on hitting his markers, not making any mistakes, hoping that maybe some of this other traffic may hinder or slow down that 54 David Traylor, because at this rate, I think David may be able to catch him here before our checkered flag. But catching him is one thing. Making the pass to get around him is a whole different thing. As my boy Grant Humphrey, what's good, Mr. Humphrey? Humphrey in the chat says, can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see the ORL broadcast this Sunday. Yes, sir, we can't wait to be back in the booth Sunday afternoons for the Outcast Racing League. This could be a lot of fun. As Yale says, dang, that's a rough spot for the 51. Yeah, that is definitely a rough spot, man, for Tyler Stevenson. Had such a dominant race truck. I think he had led virtually every single lap other than one lap during our stage break yellow flag, and about 3-4 laps throughout our first cycle of green flag pit stops that I don't think he led. Other than that, he had led every lap of this race, but with that mistake, he finds himself, unfortunately, all the way back right now. He sits in about the 6th position on the Speedway. So that is tough, man. That is very, very tough for Tyler Stevenson to be that far back now after having such a dominant truck all night long. Now he's looking to try to get those spots back. He does have better tires than everyone in front of him. He's got about 4 lap better tires than Cogdell, about 3 lap better tires than Rooster Rodden, so he may be able to really close in on our 5th and 4th place drivers, work his way back inside the top 5. The big question mark will be, is the next driver up is his teammate here in this 196 of Caleb Kleiner. Now, he still has better tires than Caleb, but there is a lot bigger of a gap, about 3.3 seconds between him and Caleb Kleinert, and then another 4.5 seconds up to David Traylor, and another 2 seconds up to Clinton Woodby. But right now, David is really reeling in that 92 machine. If you're Clinton Woodby, you're seeing this 54 ride in your rear view mirror getting bigger and bigger in a quick hurry, as Waterford in the chat says, I think the 92 might hold on. It's going to be close, man. It's going to be real close. It's down across the line. It will be 10 laps left to go. So 10 laps left here in this feature event. And last time by the start-finish line, David Traylor was about 0.6 faster than Clinton Woodby the last time around. 0.6 of a second. Man, he's there. He's a second behind Woodby now down the back straightaway, especially with obviously a couple of these lap down cars able to work their way around our race leader. That will put Ashley Ellison Jr. back on the lead lap, and that will give another lap back to Jesse Calloway. But for Clinton Woodby, the big thing is that 54 ride right there, right on him in a quick hurry. Did not take him very long to reel him in as the tires continue to fall off that 92 truck, and this is where that 6 lap better tire may make a huge difference here for David Traylor. That may give him an opportunity here to try to steal this win away. Now, if you're Clinton Woodby, you just got to try to keep dumping dirty air, maybe throw a couple dirty blocks out there just to try to keep him at bay, but I still don't know if that's going to be enough here. 8 laps left to go here in this race, and it's on like Donkey Kong, man. For Woodby, he's got to hit his marks. He cannot lose a lot of time here again, or else he is going to see David Trailer quickly taking advantage of it and trying to make the pass on him. And he's just going to try to keep this gap here, try to keep that dirty air on the nose of the 54 and hope that it kind of tightens him up and makes it tough for that 54 ride to take these big runs and try to reel into his back bumper to take that move. But for right now, he may just be a bit of a sitting duck here. You see him trying to hold that bottom line, trying to keep that thing pointed the right direction. I think now, looking through the rear view mirror a little bit more, makes this a mistake out at corner number 2, slides up the racetrack, and there you go. The 54, a David Trailer is there. Now he goes to work to try to make this pass. Gets a great run down through corner number 4, gets to the outside, and that time by the line, it's David Trailer out in front with 6 laps left to go. But now, in that outside lane through 1 and 2, not quite the best run, but now here we go. Shoots it down to the inside, drives it down the hill, gets a ton of speed and momentum, and will complete the pass on Clinton Woodby. So Woodby, unfortunately, kind of a sitting duck there for the 54 truck to take advantage of, and for David Trailer, did not take him long, but he takes back that top spot. Boy, Woodby's looking to try to battle back. Does he got something left in the tank? He's getting shoved here from that 28 ride. I think the 28 says, you know what? I want to see someone battle here and maybe beat that 54 ride, and it looks like for the 28, really just pushed the 92 ride of Clinton Woodby back out in front. So Woodby has the race lead once again. I think for David Trailer, you got to be really, really careful here. The lap traffic right there with you. You just don't want that lap traffic to make a mistake here or potentially take you or the 92 truck out of contention, but that has cost him a couple laps, and he's actually fallen back here, especially trying to roll that outside lane. What he really needs here is this 28 ride to try to get around Clinton Woodby. If he can work his way around Woodby, that could potentially, you know, open up the door for him. But you see him pushing Woodby down the back straightaway here, and it's going to allow the 92 to kind of just build up that extra bit of speed, that extra bit of momentum, and keeping him pulling away from David Trailer. I think this 28 truck may put Woodby into victory lane here this afternoon. Woodby's going to owe him a beer after this one. I don't think the 28 ride really needed to do this. I don't think they're teammates, but man, oh man, oh man, I don't know. Maybe the 28 just did not want to see David Trailer get the dub, and he's just there helping out that 92 ride, giving him a shot and an opportunity here. But will David be able to mount another challenge? Will he be able to drive back up there, trying to make a move late in this race? Is down across the line. It is 2 laps left to go. 2 more laps left in this one, man, and it is on like Donkey Kong. You see again the 92 unfortunately can't hold on to that inside lane with those older tires, pushes up the racetrack, and now here comes David Trailer down to the inside. David takes a big run, takes a peek underneath that 28, but trying to use that outside momentum. Somerville will keep himself right there on the back bumper of Clinton Woodby. Another shot, another bump, and another push as the white flag has been displayed. Only one more time around it, unfortunately, for David Trailer. He's again just kind of stuck in the wrong spot on the racetrack, and unfortunately, man, I am so surprised at this, Chad. I did not think that Woodby would battle back. I did not think the 28 ride would be here to virtually, you know, block for him and help the 92 ride out. But all of a sudden, down and out of 4 for the final time this afternoon, Somerville pushes the 92 of Clinton Woodby up and into victory lane here this evening. Man, what a run and what a race. Man, I thought Woodby was a sitting duck, especially after he slid out of 2, got into that outside fence, and we saw David Trailer able to work his way in front of him. That was absolutely incredible. Man, he was able to battle back and get back out in front. Man, he owes maybe more than just a beer. He may owe a 6-pack there to the 28 ride at Somerville after that one. David Trailer coming home in second, man. Still a great run for the 54. And Stevenson, after that pit road debacle, is able to make his way back up through the field there with the fresher tires and work his way back onto the podium and finishes off this race in that 3rd position. So what a great rebound there still for Tyler Stevenson, but that one's going to sting for a while for the 51 right, as he would have loved to have picked up the dump here in this CCR Esports 170 for the CCR Esports team out there on the racetrack, man. They looked dominant all race long until he made that mistake down pit side, and so did his teammate in that 318 of Matthew Catania. But for would-be David Traylor, they'll say thank you very much for the top 2 spots, and obviously now for the 92, you'll get to celebrate out there on the racetrack. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Clinton Woodby, man. What a race, chat. What a race, what a run, what a performance by all these drivers, and man, what a crazy one. We're excited to get Woodby and Trailer up here into the chat to see what they think about, what kind of went on right there, what happened out on the racetrack, and how this one kind of played out for them, because honestly, I think he may be a little surprised here with how this one played out, but you can see that he is pumped up. He's ecstatic. He picks up a big win here today, and obviously for the 92 truck, he's going to continue to celebrate. He's going to pull it down into the infield, and we'll wait for him to jump up into the broadcast waiting room here and into victory lane out there on the racetrack at Texas Motor Speedway, man. But what a run, what a race for Clinton Woodby. Wow. Wow, that was thrilling. No late race caution flags as well. We saw that yellow flag on the opening lap where we saw Nate Cogdell get pretty tore up. He was in the middle of it. He comes home with a top 5 run. Great rebound there for him. We saw Skylar Berry was collected in that as well. He finishes back in 7th. Great finish there for Skylar Berry as well. And then obviously the black flags down pit side. The pit road penalties and pit road mistakes here this afternoon. Obviously costing Tyler Stevenson the race win, but costing a lot of other good drivers, good finishes. When we look back there, we see, Catania, Gardner, Somerville, Colton Hardy, Lawson, Modesty, all earning black flags out there on the racetrack and down pit side. And unfortunately, none of them inside of our top 10 this afternoon. But we'll get ready, and we're going to pull in our race winner, Clinton Woodby, up here into the booth. Hey, Clinton, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Clinton, man, what a run, what a race for you here in this one. As early on, it seemed like it was all CCR earlier here because they were leading the way, man. Stevenson looked like he had a rocket ship, and he was going to run away with this one, and everyone was just going to be trying to play catch-up and battle back there for that second position. But all of a sudden, during those green flag pit stops, man, they're treacherous here at Texas, and unfortunately, for about 6-7 drivers, they found it the hard way because they earned black flags down pit side. Those holds keep them out of the top 10, and then we saw our race leader in what was probably the fastest and dominant truck out there on the racetrack, the 51 of Tyler Stevenson, make a mistake on pit road entry. He goes around, goes for a loop-de-loop, has to, get that thing pointed back in the right direction, and unfortunately it cost him a ton of time down pit road. He was able to battle back for third here, but it allowed you and David Trailer to leapfrog him and then just duke it out here late in this race. And man, it looked like you were going to be a sitting duck there for a little while as David was reeling you in a quick hurry. We saw him get loose there right at corner number 2. Luckily able to save it, but it opened up the door for him to take that race lead away from you. And all of a sudden, Somerville came out of nowhere with some pretty fresh tires, and he was able to push you virtually into victory lane here this afternoon. We already said you probably owe more than a beer tonight, but take us back through it. What's going through your mind as the 28 Ryan virtually pushes you to the win?
Yeah, I mean, whenever he caught me and David, I was just trying to figure out how to let him go, and then it was like once he caught David, he didn't have any plans on passing me, and I was like, okay, maybe he's just, I don't know, maybe he's just chilling. I really didn't know what was going on, and then, yeah, I don't know. Coming to the checkered, he told David he was tired of seeing him win, so I guess I don't win enough. I'll take it, though. I mean, that was crazy. I'm still kind of just astonished by that. If I was David, I would be mad. I'm not going to lie. I would have probably just have sent him going into turn 1 or 3 and just said, you know what, I'll just take my woes and start last, or just go on a restart, whatever. But I would have probably seen him. Not even gonna lie. But yeah, I appreciate it, Somerville, if you're out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you guys aren't teammates, so it kind of caught me by surprise as well there. And obviously, he said that he was tired of seeing David win races. I'm pretty sure you're the most winningest driver on the season. I don't know what he was thinking out there. I think you've been up here in victory lane, 4 times on the season. David's only won, I think, 2.
Yeah, David was trying to sabotage me and tell him that I had more wins going down the back stretch coming to the checkers, so I had to tell him to hush real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And luckily enough, I mean, it works out in your favor because he gives you these big pushes down the straightaways. It allows you to carry a little bit more speed and momentum out there, and it pushes you, into the race lead. And it also kind of acts as that extra truck to block the 54 David trailer. He tried to get back around, Somerville unfortunately just couldn't ever make that pass on the 28 to get another opportunity at you here late in this race.
Yeah, I've had a feeling he wouldn't be able to do anything once he didn't catch me when Somerville was behind me, because once I think it was Ashley and somebody else went past me on fresher tires coming out of 3 and 4, just trying to keep up with them with a little bit of a draft. It was just super tight coming out of 4. I smacked the wall 2 or 3 times tonight right there, but it just kind of come out of nowhere. It would be fine, and then all of a sudden you just turn into a snowplow and you go straight to the outside wall. So I had a feeling that's what kept David behind him, was just dirty air. But it would have been interesting seeing how we duked it out. I was just throwing some dive bombs there whenever I was able to kind of just get the lead the last time and just maintain it. Whenever he got it for me that first time, I kind of missed holding the bottom. I was dragging the brakes, but I couldn't hold the bottom enough, and he kind of got around me. But somehow I managed to get back around him. I don't even know how I got to run, but I did.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was, a crazy, crazy night here, obviously, down pit side with all the issues. And then we see the 28 Ryan virtually gets you right back into the battle because, once David kind of got around you there the first time and he opened up really a truck length or two, I thought, okay, that's it. He's got 6 lap better tires. He caught him that quickly. He's just going to run away with it. And Somerville got you right back into the battle, so you're definitely going to go 0-1 after this. But man, what a drive, what a performance, what a night here at Texas Motor Speedway. And Clinton, now you get to celebrate down in victory lane, man. Who'd you like to thank for, another great run and strong performance here in the Metalheads Truck Series?
Yeah, shout out to my girlfriend Megan. I know she's not feeling too well right now, and Blair Peterson, the Winning Bid Diecast, and all my teammates, bonus teammate Somerville tonight, and you for the broadcast, and everybody for putting the league on and everything. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. No better place to be on a Monday night than up here in the booth watching you guys duke it out. And now, obviously, another big win, some more points into your back pocket, and obviously another big win as well. They're going to help you extend the points lead, I believe, here tonight, because obviously you and David Trailer came into this race. Only 2 points separating. I guess he does have 4 wins on the year as well. I don't know if the standings is calculating as all-star race win as well, but nonetheless, I guess you guys were tied with wins and, virtually almost tied with points, and now you're going to get the upper hand on them here this afternoon with another W.
Yeah, I feel like I've been racing with David for a few years now, and I feel like I've chased him more than he's chased me still, so I'm not going to apologize just yet.
Absolutely. I think I'd be rubbing this one in his face for a little while. That is for certain. But Clinton, man, great run, great race, man. Congratulations on the dub here in this one. And we can't wait to see you guys back out there on the racetrack next Monday night.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Clinton Woodby. As Woodby picks up the dub, man, give it up there for him because that was a heck of a show, heck of a race for us here this afternoon. And now we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, David Trailer. Hey, David, it's Aaron up here at the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, gotcha, Aaron.
David, man, great run, great race for you here this afternoon, man. Obviously, a lot of things going right for you. With Stevenson having an issue down pit road, Catania and so many other drivers earning black flags, it puts you right into a prime position late in this race with 6 lap better tires and enough time to track down Clinton Woodby. And as you reel up to him, you make that pass to get around him as he makes a mistake, and then all of a sudden he picks up a new teammate here this afternoon and pushes him into the win here this evening as you just couldn't find your way back around Somerville. You couldn't get another opportunity to go after Clinton Woodby, and obviously Woodby basically just getting that extra, 20, 30 horsepower to those big shows with fresh tires down the straightaways just never gave you a shot to catch back up and try to steal this win away from him here this afternoon, man. But take us back through it because it was a crazy night. Obviously, a lot of penalties down pit side. We saw Stevenson go for a big spin down on pit road, and then here late in this race, Clinton Woodby getting a helping hand from the 28 Ryan, who's a lap or 2 laps down out there on the racetrack and pushing him to a win.
Yeah, that was pretty eventful for sure. That first lap, I got pretty much some not terminal but permanent damage. Could never get all of it fixed, even if I did take the flash repair. I'm pretty sure the right front was just it was just KO'd. And it felt a little odd, but yeah, I just try to figure out what to do, and how to get the clean air. This is my first race on a new wheelbase, so I'm still trying to get the hang of this. A little bit of a learning curve going on right now, but overall, I felt like I had okay speed. I don't really feel like I was super fast. Obviously, not as fast as the 92 or the 51. I think I just got better pitch strategy in the 92 a little bit, and then obviously the 51 had an issue. But yeah, and then worked our way through a couple green flag stops. Kind of ran down the 92 on fresher tires, and knew that if I could get by him, I feel like I could keep him behind me. And then, like you said, the 28 just came out of nowhere, and I don't know. I guess he helped his buddy out, and then he just kind of parked it behind him, and I couldn't get any clean air because they were too wide in front of me. So it is what it is. It's hard to complain about second. I'm chasing the 92 and wins again. He's starting to run away with it, but I'm gonna give it everything I got. But we'll try to get him next week.
Yeah, absolutely. But as same as all these other drivers, is that the regular season points championship obviously comes on with a little bit of bonus points for the playoffs, but it also comes in with an extra little bit of money, and you're chasing that 92 ride not only for who's going to have the most wins on the season, but you came into this race only 2 points behind him here in the regular season championship, and now with him being able to get that shove back out in front, steal this win away, that's going to allow him to kind of build that lead a little bit more here this afternoon, and that's going to mean throughout the last couple races here of the regular season, you're going to have to try to beat him, find some way to gain those points back, and try to steal that regular season championship away from him.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I kind of like the schedule. Myrtle Beach is okay. I think me and him pretty evenly matched on the short track. And then Las Vegas and Michigan, the truck's a little underpowered, so I think it's going to be pack racing again. Kind of similar to what you saw here, but we'll see. The regular season's one thing, but my goal is to get to Homestead and see what I can do. I feel good in the truck there, so that's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely. Ultimate goal, end of the day, big picture racing, wanting to hunt down and win the championship here this year with the Metalheads Racing League. As David, you come home again, another solid run, another great finish and performance for yourself. Who would you like to thank for a great run out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, first off, thanks to the rest of the admin team, Nate, Skylar, Golden. Like I said before, I just push the buttons and throw the cautions here. They're the ones that really run the show. But overall, I feel like I can't thank them enough. We try to make it fun. Thanks to you for putting the broadcast on. Thanks to the rest of the sponsors: CCR Esports, Duck Donuts, Admin Box, Blair at the Winning Bid, QH Design, Johnny Johnson Motorsports. There's a lot of people that have a hand in making this fun and make it happen for us. So we really appreciate all of them. And then thanks to my dad watching at home and my wife for letting me do this.
Absolutely, brother. Well, David, great run, great race here tonight. Man, we can't wait to see you guys back in action again next Monday night and see if you and Clinton can duke it out again. Maybe not have lap traffic in your way and see how it plays out there at Myrtle Beach next Monday night.
Yes, sir. We'll see you. Thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, David Trailer. David comes home in that second spot here this evening as we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, the 51 of Tyler Stevenson. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
I did.
Tyler, man, heck of a race from you here tonight, man. Obviously, this truck was a rocket ship, and it looked like it right from the drop of the green flag as you were able to jump out in front, steal the race lead away from Caleb Kleiner, and for a while there, you never looked back as you were able to pull out to a couple pretty solid leads here. You never really felt a lot of pressure to your back bumper or had any of your, CCR Esports teammates trying to make passes on you, or not even, Clinton Woodby or Trailer. Any of these guys really had anything for you here tonight, and unfortunately, like your teammate Catania late in this race on that final green flag pit stop, he makes a mistake speeding down pit road. You lock up the brakes and the truck goes for a loop-de-loop on you, and unfortunately it cost you the dub here tonight, but you're able to stick with it, keep on battling, and show that pure speed and everything else out of that 51 truck to be able to battle back up here or a third place finish is incredible, man. It was a great run there late in this race to jump back up onto the podium, but obviously this one's going to sting after dominating, the first 92 laps of this race.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it just helped that we got out front and the clean air was really good. Them battling back there helped me pull away, and then it just allowed me to pit late on the green flag pit stops, and not really pay the price for pitting late because I wouldn't really fall back that much and just have better tires and I could just fly by them. Yeah, we led, I think, 84 laps. So looked, yeah. So we were pretty fast today. It sucks, this is my home track too, so this one hurts even more. Yeah, I think I just came into pit road too hard than I needed to, and I locked it up and spun it. But you didn't mention I did come back to third, and I can't get down about that part that I battled back to third. So I'll take that. We won the stage. It's still good points today, but it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for a week, but we'll come back next week and we'll try to win more. We got a fast team here. I know I can win. It's just gonna really hurt, but.
Yeah, definitely gonna sting for a while, man. Giving up a win that way, and obviously, even if you had that mistake, you had a couple teammates there behind you for a little while, and unfortunately, obviously, we saw Caleb Kleiner kind of fall off there a little bit throughout that longer run, and we saw, Ashley Ellison Jr. He was up there for a little bit. Looks like his tires were getting worn out there. Then try to play some different pit strategies himself there. Didn't quite work out in his favor. Obviously still got a top 10 run, but you look back at the guy that was behind you in second for a while here tonight at Catania ends up with that black flag late in this race.
Yeah.
And then earlier on that first green flag pit stop, another guy that absolutely loves this racetrack, Nick Gardner. I've seen him pick up a lot of wins here at Texas. I thought he was going to be another one that would maybe be able to give you a run for your money this afternoon. Unfortunately, with his pit road mistake, never really gave him a shot to shine here this evening.
Yeah. We were all in like the top 6 at one point. I think we were all pretty fast, but just some people had problems, and we still got 3 cars in the top 10. So, and good run for Ashley. He needs those good runs. It sucks for Matt and Nick. They were both fast. So, yeah, we got a couple more races left. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch up to Trailer and Woodby, but us three, me, Catania, and Kleiner, are gonna have a good battle for third, hopefully, in the regular season points. So we'll see where we end up. I like a couple of the tracks coming up, so once we'll try to get redemption there. That's my goal.
Absolutely. That is definitely the thought process to go forward here. You can't fix what has already happened, and that's why they make the windshield bigger than the rear view mirror in the back window, man. You're always supposed to be looking forward, not looking backwards
Yes.
here.
Yep.
And we can't wait to see what you guys got in store for us here for the last 3 races of the regular season, and then leading in to our playoffs here in the Metalheads Truck Series. But man, still a great performance, a fast truck here
Yep.
all night long, and still a very solid third place run. Good points for you, man. Who'd you like to thank for obviously a good day here at the Speedway?
Yeah. Obviously, Matt, Caleb, Matthew, Ashley, Nick. I mean, we've been it's been good to race with you guys. I mean, I've been having fun this season with them. I thank them. I mean, it sucks to not bring a win for CCR this today, but I just like to thank them for everything. I mean, those are my main guys there. So, and thank you. I mean, you always do a good job in the booth, so gotta thank you that.
Appreciate that, brother. And Tyler, man, great run. Heartbreaker, though, for you tonight, man. We can't wait to see you back in action next Monday from Myrtle Beach, and hopefully maybe a bit of a rebound and redemption day
Yeah.
for you and get you right back up here and into victory lane.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher here this evening, man. Great run, great drive here all evening long for that 51 machine, man. Obviously a heartbreaker there with that pit road mistake, having that issue, and unfortunately going around out there on the racetrack, man, that is a heartbreaker for the number 51 machine, and unfortunately has to settle in for third. But I mean, for Clinton Woodby, he's bumped up. He picks up the dub here. Obviously a lot of help from that 28 ride, and then David Trailer, I mean, he picked up a few extra spots there late in this race to come home in second. Obviously had a great shot at trying to win this race himself. But at the end of the day, man, two of our top two drivers in points come home 1 and 2. I mean, it may have taken a bit of a miracle there late in this race with the mistake from Stevenson and Catania, but I mean, they didn't run into problems either. I mean, looking at the points right now, I mean, Catania's third in points, Stevenson's back in fifth, Caleb Kleindrew finished this race back in sixth. I mean, a lot of those front runners, those guys that have been showing that consistency all season long, showing it again here this afternoon. Obviously, we saw a couple of them run into those issues and the black flags and early race crashes and stuff, but man, they've been really able to come together and still end up with some pretty solid finishes here this evening. And that was a heck of a show, man. Heck of a race. Obviously, early on, we see that opening lap crash. We saw a trailer get tied up in it. And we see, obviously, the stage break. And then this long green flag run to finish things off. And the craziness down pit road. And then the craziness there for the race win. This was a great show and a great race for everybody to enjoy here this afternoon. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button for us on the broadcast. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit that share button. Hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. And definitely a huge shout out to CCR Esports as the CCR Esports 170 comes to a close here at Texas Motor Speedway as Clinton Woodby, still down in the infield celebrating a big dub here this afternoon, is our victor of that CCR Esports 170 here this evening. But we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all back here in the booth in the next one. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all later, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.